Brian here from quantlabs.net. As you know, I was hoping to go with multicharts.net and proceed, building strategies from this framework within multicharts.net. It is a fairly sexy, sophisticated platform, but the back end with their framework is completely useless to me. And I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you what my alternative is and what I'm using and what I've been able to successfully do, which I'll be introducing in a live webinar to my quantlabs.net premium membership on February 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But let's talk about multicharts, and then let's talk about our alternative trading platform. First of all, let me just go into the reasons why I use .NET and why I use MATLAB. First of all, when I do, if I'm new to MATLAB and I need something like I don't know, ECN or I think it's called ECI test or even if I make a mistake on a whatever type of property, a function, whatever I'm looking for in MATLAB, I just do it in Google, ECI test, and here I go. This is what the sort of thing I'm looking for when it comes to using any framework, any type of anything within any major tool that I'm using. So in this case, you can tell this is the level of information that I'm looking for. It helps me develop and have a complete better understanding on how to use that tool, in particular something like this, each EGCI test within MATLAB. Let's take a look at .NET. Now, when you look at things like Linux or any of these other open source type of technologies, especially when it comes from the world of Linux, you don't get this level of documentation when it comes to Microsoft, because their Microsoft developer network and what's out there online is very easy. I don't know, I'm just trying to think of, let's say, dictionary. I have no idea what a dictionary is. This is another level of documentation that I can rely on with Microsoft. Here's a Microsoft description. It just gives me such a huge leg up in understanding what all these things are. All the standard properties, all that stuff. And it just goes on and on and on and on, and it gives me examples. It's easier to work with, easier to pick up. Now we get into the world of MATLAB, or sorry, multicharts. Okay, so let's say I want to use multicharts for documentation, understand. If I do this little search, it brings me to this guy, which is here. Now it says, it goes on, it's compatible with TradeStation, Easy Language, and all that. You get all these 3 different PDFs, which I've shown before. There's one that's pretty big at 1,200 pages. So you spend time reading that. Fine. This is what I did. And you come into their discussion forums. Okay. Now, this is under Multicharts Discussion Forum.net. Okay. Now, this is how I went through everything with this. I'm not saying it's bad, but it just doesn't compare to these online documents or pages. I'm not expecting this platform to make it easier for me, but this is critical for me as a developer, especially when I'm spending some big money on this platform at $1,500. Okay. Let me just see what the pricing is, just to show you. $500 for 6 months, $800, or $1,500 for lifetime. Now, because I'm spending that kind of money, I expect the documentation to be top notch. Let me repeat that: top notch, like this, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to show you again what I have available. So I learned about the framework within multicharts. So here we go, all this stuff. Now, this is all I get, and this is all I get, and then there's the help. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's talk about multicharts. Okay. These are two postings that are fairly recent, last week. Today's the 8th of February. These postings came up in the last few days, February 6th. I will start by my post showing how development in multicharts has frustrated me. On it goes. Next one. Hello guys. As it clearly states, I need help from the basic stuff in multicharts.net. All I need to do is moment to get myself up and running, send an order, and on it goes. You can tell I'm not the only one who's struggling with this. As a result, for me, and I've said this before in another video, I have moved on from multicharts. I have moved on, okay, because of things like this. It's just too frustrating. So now let's take a look where they say, oh, take a look at the take a look at the examples. So I'm looking at now the PowerLanguage.net editor. Now these are just random example code, okay? Do you see any comments anywhere? This is C#, folks. Do you see any comments anywhere? Nothing. And I'm supposed to make heads or tails out of this. Not only that, but if you come under their help, which is another way to reference things, this does not even compare to this or to this, to what Microsoft or MATLAB has got. So let me just give you an example. I don't know, draw content. That's all you get. Like, really, is that all I get? I don't even get a working example and redraw. That's it. That's all you get. This product needs a lot of help. Actually, I'll say it needs an intervention. They need to really rework this if they're really wanting to get my $1,500. Like, come on. So that's where we stand. Okay. And that's all you work with, and I spent a week trying to figure this stuff out. So, what are the alternatives? Now, what I'm about to show you is an open source trading platform. A lot of people know about it. It seems to be popular enough. I played with this a year ago, and I was somewhat satisfied with it. And, you know, there's some limitations, but you can expect that with open source. But here's the difference between this multicharts, okay, and this trading platform. Now, I'm going into my Visual Studio, and you're going to ask yourself, well, what platform is that? Well, it's called TradeLink. Yay, TradeLink. Okay, I'm not going to go on about TradeLink. There's some decent resources. First of all, it's open source. It's completely free. I don't have to put any dollar investment to what I'm about to show my membership on Monday, February 11th. I've not spent a nickel on it. I'm not under any trial. There's no obligation. But it is open source. But that's not where it also stops. I wanted to show something very simple. I don't know. I'm going to pull up any random strategy that's developed within here. Okay, so I have one loaded up called pairs trading. Now, let's compare this strategy versus what's available in Multicharts. A $1,500 product. Now again, I've already mentioned this. Do you see any comments anywhere? Anywhere. Hello, anywhere. Looking. Okay, let me even do a standard search for a comment. Nothing. Jeez. That's a $1,500 product. Now, let's take a look at our free open source TradeLink. Now, this is a strategy. Oh, we got a comment here. That really helps me out. Got a comment here. Comment here. Boom. Boom. And this is out of box when you download TradeLink. That's the difference. That's why I'm using TradeLink. So it helps me map out my development when I integrate my MATLAB or my Simulink or any other external resources through this DLL. Okay, that is the clear difference between Multicharts, a $1,500 product. Again, no comments, but I get them all here. Very basic stuff. I'm just really shocked on why Multicharts is trying to impress me with their software in this framework. And I'm sure it may work great in a year from now. It doesn't help me out today in 2013. Maybe they might improve it. Maybe they might not. I might take heat for it. But this is why I'm moving to something like a TradeLink. And yes, we know that TradeLink is not perfect. Yes, we know that. But again, guess what? Here's all the source code. That's one big advantage. Another big advantage that I get with TradeLink. Again, it's open source, $0 investment. Now, the other big advantage I have is you've heard me go on and on about high frequency trading. This platform, I do not think you can really at all make it high frequency trading. I'm not even going to insult anybody by the name HFT or high frequency trading, but this TradeLink is HFT ready. If you need to see that, let me just pull up some searches here. TradeLink HFT. You know, poor man's high frequency trading. There's this one here. So let's figure it out. And that's what TradeLink is. It is a true open source trading platform for possibly HFT. I don't think it is. Maybe it might get criticized here. And it is HFT for something like TradeLink. Now, I've looked at all these other open source trading platforms like MarketCetra, AlgoTrader, and believe me, the one I'm working with is TradeLink, just for obvious reasons. The problem with MarketCetra, there's no community support. The TradeLink community support is very active, 25,000 downloads. It's quite good. It's constantly updated, and I'm somewhat positively surprised by the development, even after a year playing with it. So that's what I'm using as my trading platform. It is HFT ready, and those are the reasons why I am not using Multicharts, because of just the lack of documentation and framework. It's just you get the spiel. All right, hopefully I'll help you out, and if you are into it, check out TradeLink.